Guys, you know what it is. It is Sunday nights. We off a vacation break, man. It's time to sip on some Sundays. You know who it is, Mr. Campbell, Mr. HBCU Unity, because I'm going to bring some unity tonight. And, man, you got to have my guy, Zoe Phillips, North Jackson's finest. We are here to bring all the news, the highlights, things that's been going on. We know y'all miss us, but, sometimes you got to go out. Your boy had to go out of town, man. Had to go to a couple of graduations, cousin graduation, my guy, grandbaby graduation down there at Daytona. She going to be a rattler. So, man, we back in the building. So, Zoe, 2 weeks, what's been going on with you?
Man, it's been a lot for me. Had to bury an uncle in 1 week, and I'll be burying my grandfather this weekend. So, but outside of that, man, it's been up. God has been good. A lot of blessings going on in my life, man. A lot of good things happening. Moving up, making some necessary changes. Making some I'm not gonna say career changes, but career promos and moving up the corporate ladder, man. So it's been good.
Well, see, man, you and like as the folks say, the old folks say, see you and your power band. So this is the time you got to get all your money right now.
Oh, so look. Let me. You see.
Shout out to Blacks in Tech. I know about that.
Let them know, man. Black folks in tech.
Hey, listen. I just had a great call, and I got a classmate of mine. She is going to interview for the dean of the School of Business that I'm a part of. So she's going down there doing her interview tomorrow down there at Florida A&M. My freshman sister, Dr. Lakita Blockson. So we're gonna speak that to existence. But one of the great things is one of my classmates' son is in SBI. And, man, you talking about, bro, you got to say, when I came in school, there wasn't computers, okay? Let's be clear. There wasn't no computers, bro. Nah, there wasn't no computers. We used typewriters, bro. We didn't get computers until the back end. Now, when I say we had computers, but I'm talking about like everybody had a personal laptop and stuff like they do now. None of that.
Hey, but you know what? Sidebar. I was just talking about this morning at work. So you basically just pronounced to the world that you're a Gen Xer.
Bro, listen, I was not Gen X with pride now.
I'm just saying that statement alone proves you're a Gen X.
Oh, absolutely.
Proved it, man. It's funny you say that, but go ahead.
So, the young brother, was schooling us, and he was like, yeah, we got the professors in there, and they don't want us to use AI and stuff like that, but we had to let them know AI is part of what's going on in the world. And I said, yeah, because you're getting taught by people that came up without it, and they don't want y'all to learn it because that might take them out from a job, man. So you know how it goes. Absolutely.
Hey, as a person who works on AI every day, I'm going to tell you, you better adapt. That's all I can tell you. You better adapt, and you better adapt in a hurry.
Man, listen, I'm so into AI, man. I work with it every day now. And one of the things that I got to tell people, either you can learn it or get lost by it. I refuse to get lost by anything. And, man, this is just the way of the world, man. Like I said, our parents' generation, guess what? They worked in the factories. Guess what? The technology robots came. You know what? So this is just part of it. So people, people going to be losing their job. Man, it happens in every industrial cycle. This is just what it is. And this is the back end, fortunately, for an industrial cycle for some of those people that will not be able to change. And then for, like I said, people that are in my age range of 50, you know what I mean? They have been equipped enough to learn how to use computers to still be able to go get certifications and things like that. So, man, yeah, it's a lot of things going on, man. Absolutely. He said, hey, no, wait a minute. Okay, now hold on. Let me put this up. Okay, I had a Commodore 64, but listen to what I'm saying though. Remember when I had a Commodore 64 in '88, but remember that was not able to be used. It was nothing but really a glorified typewriter, and you had that Mavis Bacon typing. I'm talking about where you now had a Windows-based program computer. We didn't have that. You understand? So Windows came out in 95. Well, Windows 95. 92. But when the Icon version, it was 95. Mm-hmm. So you can understand how long ago that was. And I had just left college.
31 years ago.
Yeah. So you think about that and how that was. So, bro, we had to go. And I'm going to say this and shout out because this is another thing. So what I found out, and this probably going to happen at all the schools, our library, they're going to take all the books out, so at FAMU.
Yes, sir. We've had several actually close in Jackson.
Oh, yeah. So the fact that when we went to the library and we had to know how to use it, you had to know how to use the library. And now the library is more going to be of a meeting place and technology place, which I think is great. But that just shows you my version of college and now these kids' version of college. So that was just amazing. Emma's like, yep, absolutely. So, and Ford knows what I'm talking about.
So I remember that too. But one thing to the previous, I'm gonna say one thing to the previous message. I just want to add something to that. What she stated is very true, but I want to also put a comment, add another comment to that, and that is convenience. Everybody, listen to me. Convenience comes at a cost.
Yeah.
Remember that. All the conveniences that we have out in the world with your cell phone and everything else, it comes at a cost, and AI is gonna pay for it.
Yeah, yeah. And I like this because this is the thing about, but I say this, you know, Lil Baby, shout out to Lil Baby family. But I tell people this, I used to tell Sky this all the time. Stop acting like Google is always right, because it's not. And it requires you a level that you should be able to think for yourself, because AI is great. It is awesome. It is another tool to be used. But if you allow, like what Lil Baby said, for it to be your thought process, because guess what? There's trickeration in that.
Oh, Steve, let me give you a funny inside joke to hear you say that. On the inside, we all say AI is dumb. It's an inside joke, but we say it every day. AI is dumb because it's machine learning, right? Mm-hmm. It's learning, but everything has to be input from us.
Yeah. And that's the thing about, so, you know, all right, we ain't gonna get too far on this, but I think this is a great point. So, you know, when people say, you know, AI, you know what I say? Be the person that creates the AI. Because AI didn't just come from magic. There are people that program and create it. And those are the people not gonna get all the money. So that's what I'm gonna say to all the young people. There's go your next thing. So don't say, oh, I'm scared of AI. No, be the ones that create it. And that's one of the things that I'm hoping that a lot of our HBCUs, which I'm seeing that are being talked about, where now we're going to start having these disciplines where it's going to be, they're going to teach you AI and stuff like that. So I'm super, super excited about that. So, man, listen, we're going to get this going, man. So we've been, bro. See, this is what happened. We go for 2 weeks, and then your folks want to act up. So, you know, so let me just tell y'all guys the run of the show real quick, just to kind of let you know how we're going to do this, because we're going to let people get in there. We know the SWAC got the partnership. We're going to do that a little bit on the back end, because let everybody get in. Man, we got to talk about Alabama State and numbers, what's going on with that. We got to talk about this bill with the college players and the CBC and your boy Nick Saban. The Legacy Bowl coming to the ATL. Got to talk about that. We got some new members of the Black College Football Fame. The SWAC has announced who's going to be on SWAC TV. And we got to talk about that because, boy, we got folks down there in Texas crying about what time the game is and stuff like that, and who's the darling and all that stuff. And then, man, you know what? I saw an article, Make or Break. And then we're going to have to talk about that. But so, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. We're going to get right into this thing about Alabama State. Because this right here, bro, really, really blew my mind. And I'm going to read this article, and we're going to talk about this on the other side. But the thing, this is, listen, I know people are hurt. I know people need money, but there's a caveat to this thing here. And I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to talk about this because this is crazy when I saw this. So we're going to talk about this and bring it on up and talk about the other side. So let's bring it on. I'll make it all big for the folks. I know a lot of you all seen this. The NCAA fines 4 HBCU players through a game for sports betting zone. Sports betting allegations involve Alabama State. The HBCU men's basketball team have led to a permanent NCAA ineligibility for the 4 Hornet student athletes. Alabama State released a statement, announced sports betting integrity violation tied to the men's basketball program. The NCAA reported that former Hornets men's basketball student athletes engaged in game of manipulation during the 24-25 season. Now, Zoe, correct me if I'm wrong. Did they not win the SWAC that year in 2024? Okay. The NCAA identified former players as Amari Knox, Sean Fulcher, Corey Hines, and Tony Matlock. All 4 no longer part of the program. So let's get down to here. The game centers on a Southern Miss game. According, the matter began after Temple notified NCAA staff that Corey Hines had been contacted by the FBI. Hines had transferred to Temple after his time at Alabama State. The NCAA NCAA said that the FBI showed Hines text messages related to sports integrity issues with the time on the Hornets. The NCAA said Knox told enforcement that Fulcher added teammates to a group chat with a known bettor. The bettor allegedly offered money for a team to throw a game against Southern Miss the next night. The report said Knox, Fulcher, Hines later joined a FaceTime call with the bettor on the morning of the game. The NCAA said the group agreed on that call to throw the game. Knox reported that 4 players received $2,000 for a second known bettor for throwing the game, according to NCAA. Each athlete's ethical conduct violated classified as a level 1. Fulcher and Hines were cited for failure to cooperate. The NCAA said both provided false and misleading information. Now, Madlock, who has, because I want to get to this, Madlock, who has exhausted his eligibility, declined to participate in the NCAA interview. Knox was the only former student athlete who agreed to his violation according to NCAA. Alabama State closed the statement by emphasizing its commitment to compliance. Alabama State University's athletics program and its personnel remain committed to integrity and compliance and will continue to operate transparently. So I'm gonna read one name again. I'm gonna read one more name again. I want to read Tony Madlock. So, do you know who Tony Madlock is?
It's Penny Hardaway's teammate, but it's also the coach's son.
That is the coach's son.
Well, let me say that right. The head coach Tony Madlock was Penny Hardaway's teammate, but Tony Madlock is also the coach's son.
Listen, man, let me make this real big right here. This is the coach's son. Bruh. Now, listen, I don't care who get mad. So I'm about to go straight Scotty. You can call me. My number's public. But how bad do you not like your daddy to get on a call with Cass to about to do something that could harm your daddy? And you be like, let me get a little piece of that too, dog.
You know what? I'm not gonna look at it like that. I don't think he was looking. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I think when he did that, he wasn't looking at it like he was gonna hurt his dad. Maybe, just maybe. And I probably want to err on the side of caution to say he probably knew some things was gonna happen at the end of the year. I also knew that his eligibility will be up as well. So I pretty much could walk clean. I ain't got to worry about nothing. Now his dad, though he's gone, could actually end up getting a show clause, possibly. But for the son, you see what I'm saying? And well, who knows? Being that, you know what I'm saying, up there in Memphis, and I think Madlock is back in Memphis, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, he went up. Yeah, he left. He took that's where everybody was shocked. He went to go to be the assistant coach up there in Memphis.
Yeah. So he went back to Memphis. And so he may possibly get a show clause, but the son was just like, you know, I'm out of eligibility, so I'm good. If anything comes out, you know what I'm saying, they can't do anything to me. That's literally, I'm literally bet you that's what he was thinking.
Okay. Okay. So you have a daughter, right? Is that my correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have 2, really 3, because one came through the blessing of God. Not just I almost basically adopted. I'm gonna say this again. There is no way that any child of mine, if somebody is scammed, like let's understand this. We're talking about betting to throw a game. The level of integrity or lack of integrity that is. Okay. We ain't talking about a booster giving you money. Hey, you know what? We're gonna get a car. The big booster down there in Montgomery gonna give us some money. We talking about you throwing a game and your team. Well, you figure that this is Alabama State and lose, and these guys put you on the call. Your dad is the coach. No,
for $2,000, man.
No, for $2,000.
That's
your dad got enough money to give you.
But that's the mind-boggling thing. It's what they actually did a crime for. But it's like most other petty crimes, right? Think about it. People will commit all these petty crimes, and they're getting peanuts for doing it. Risking and willing to go to jail for multiple years over nothing.
But
same thing. He committed $2,000.
We cannot listen. I'm with that. I know people that do dumb things for $5. But bruh, your daddy, the man that birthed you, the man that raised you, I'm assuming that you love.
Look, I'm not co-signing it. I'm just saying, like, This is the thing that YNs do or young people do. It's a dumb decision. I mean, think about it. It's $2,000. It's not even worth it. I'm just saying, even if you, my thing is, I'm not going to justify right doing the action that was taken. But when you find the dollar amount, it's even more boneheaded. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do any type of thing, it's like, man, they got $10,000. I still would have done it, but damn, it's like, okay, that's $10,000 per player, but $2,000, bro.
But what I'm saying is, I have seen people do stuff for less. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but my thing is, my daddy,
yeah, is
there. And I go, and these cats get me on the phone. That's to let you know how come these cats were. Because first of all, no way I'm hey, Zoe, the coach's son. Let me call Zoe. Say, are you fucking stupid? The coach's son,
man.
That lets you know where they was already at with it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just saying this. Hey man, we need another person to get on this. Who you gonna call, dog? I'm gonna call Tony. I would be like, you calling who? No, dog, I'm trying to tell you.
And then it was crazy. And it was even more risky. How you know one of the other players wasn't gonna snitch?
I'm just like, and you get on a FaceTime, and they like, okay, we're gonna give y'all. Well, hold on. Let's clear this up. Is it $2,000 total or a piece?
It was $2,000 a piece.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was $2,000 a piece. Yeah. Okay, so $2,000. You get on here, and I'm gonna say this again. Your dad's a coach, so and we can look it up. He got to be making at least 175 to 250, somewhere in there as a coach.
Oh, I think Madlock was about 225. I think.
Okay, so 225, and you gonna tell me that you could, and not for the whole 2,000, but hey, Dad, listen, man, I got a little something. I want to take out. Give your son $300-400.
But you gotta remember, Madlock was at South Carolina State before he came to Alabama State, and before he was at South Carolina State, he was in Memphis and making good money in Memphis. He's making good money now.
I am just, man. I'm gonna say this again. I have seen folks. I'm talking about as though we from Jackson, so I ain't gonna say no name because if I say that, what I'm talking about. I know some drug dealer families. Let's just say they're from Jackson.
We all do it. We all do the same one.
From the grandmama to the 5-year-old.
We know the same ones too.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. Probably. Ain't none of them snitching like that, dog. Ain't none of them doing that. They stand over there, and if that one cousin on that day, they like, you just stay on there. You know what? We've been over here in Georgetown. Y'all done moved.
I was just going to say that. I was just about to say that we all familiar with Georgetown, Prosperity, Wood Street.
Yeah. Don't come over here, dog. You good. Just stay over there. Because we've been doing the things, and they said, Grandma. That y'all think Grandma was selling candy. That was just the front. The grandma said, "Oh, on that." Like, come on, man. What are we doing?
Well-known
fellow too. According, all 4 athletes accepted were paid a total of $2,000. So
that's even worse.
Zoe.
Oh my God.
Come on. Okay, y'all.
So I stand corrected. It was 2000. It was 5. Oh my God.
How okay. And listen, you know what? Maybe you know what? Don't do because y'all don't. I'm just gonna tell you this. I would never do this to my father.
I wouldn't either, man.
This is first and foremost. But and we can just do this as a joke, okay? As a joke. I know nobody would do it because I believe good people. But how much would it take for you to throw a game your dad with the coach? Bruh, we got to be 6 figures. If I'm throwing a game,
but you know what? This is the same thing that my dad always told me about, like this right here for those players. This not even tempting. This not even a temptation. You see what I'm saying? Like this not even tempting. It's not even tempting.
Right. And man, like that ain't no little guy play basketball. Look at he like 250. You know what I'm saying, bro? I gotta get a $250,000. You know what I'm saying? Because this is my thing. And I'm gonna say, and listen, Coach Madlock, I'm saying this with respect. This is no disrespect to you. I'm pretty sure that you are upstanding, man. Because you know, again, I know stuff flowing. We are joking about this, but this is serious. As a father to father, I know you handle this with your son, and this ain't no disrespect, but your son owed you better to put you in a position that we even talking about this. That's my only problem with that, because you out here working hard. It is tough to coach at an HBC. It's tough being a black man's coach, and for $500, bro. I'm sorry. So listen, I don't want anybody to be upset with me and Zoe, because the story was not written by me and Zoe. This is a story that's out here, and your son was a part of it, and that's just disappointing, man. So anybody can get mad about that. I don't care, because, man, listen, we got to do better than this, man, because we cannot be in a level where we are bought and paid for $500. That's just crazy, man. And when I saw that, I had to read that. I'm like, no, wait, because you know how you read an article and you're like, man, this is some bull. And I'm like, wait a minute, Babylon. I'm like, this is the coach's son.
You know what, man? To be honest, that offers an insult.
That's
it's an insult.
Let's talk about that part. Okay, now let's keep this a buck. Now
if it's a stereotypical narrative too.
See, now you're going there. See, I'm gonna go there. That a white man could think, I ain't going, because I don't use that word, that these 4 blank blanks, I ain't get them for 500. Now, mind you, you know for a fact, and this is how they catch it, because it's not like he on that game. It's not like he bet $2,000. Oh, he probably put 40, 50, 60, 70, $80, $100,000 on that game.
And you know what's even more crazy? How to show their ignorance. He who has leverage has control. If he wanted it bad enough, he would have came about that bread. Because guess what? Y'all can't. He can't get nothing done unless y'all agree to it. So who in the hell sit there and agree to that? It's like it's ludicrous, man. They could literally say, guess what? You want it done, you got to come with the whole kit and caboodle. Man, hey, pay me $250,000. You ain't gonna pay me $250 each, then man, we ain't gotta talk no more.
Bro,
we ain't doing nothing.
We ain't talking nothing.
Watch this, because we probably gonna lose the game anyway. You just want to guarantee a loss, but nah. Either you gonna give her this for doing it, or we ain't gonna do it. Point blank period.
That as a parent, that just.
And then even if he walks in, and even if the dude sit there and say, "Oh, never mind, I'll go somewhere else." Okay, you were finna get your $500. You see what I'm saying? It ain't worth it. It wasn't worth it,
bro. It is not worth it. That's the thing about it. And I'm gonna say this again. You gonna tell me that, and let's just say whatever desperate situation that you couldn't go to your dad and say, "Dad, I listen, I'm bad. I tell you who I know he could have went to. He could have told his mama the truth and said, Mama, listen, I'm down bad. I need 500. Let's just say he owed somebody in the street some money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been in them streets. I was right there shooting that dice. Oh, them boys from around the corner, 500. Mama would have came with that 500 quick. Because that's the only way you're gonna justify that to me. Because if you just got that just to kick it, oh man, come on, bro. Well, you know what? So we're gonna move on to something positive. And I'm gonna ask you a question when I set this up. Because you know what, though? There was somebody that was associated to HBCU that made a whole lot of money the right way, Zo. A whole lot of money the right way. So I'm gonna bring this up, and we're gonna talk about this, and then I'm gonna ask you a question because I got a question about how this happened. Yeah, they would have champed me at Mike. And I'm gonna say it like this: former Jackson State quarterback Zo has received $17.7 million through the NFLPA. Now I remember you guys heard about they went some special icon. This ain't what that was, because that was fake. But your boy Shador sold them jerseys, Zo. Sold those jerseys. So as they say, and let's go, shed no tears for Shador Sanders in his 2025 draft free fall. The recent
broke Tom Brady's record too. Broke Tom Brady's record.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. The NFL Players Association reveals Sanders through SS2 Legendary LLC received more than $17.7 million from the NFLPA from May 2025 through February. Bro, that wasn't even a whole calendar year. That was basically right when practice started for rookies till the Super Bowl. The number was first reported by Daniel Kaplan from Front Office Sport, which is very reliable. Kaplan said that figure shattered the prior 1 year record of 9.5 million held by Tom Brady.
He doubled
Pro
them
Football
up, bro.
Very reliable, has confirmed the number, which appears in the union's Romulus annual federal filing. The document reflects 13 different payments for royalty player marketing to SS2 legendary total of 17 million. The biggest payout was made May 16th in the amount of $9 million. That's probably when them jerseys went on sale right there, so.
Mm-hmm.
And the second largest payment was $2 million. Most player royalty through the NFLPA comes through group license deal, which compensates players for jersey sales, trading card, video games, other collectibles. And one source suggested the 9.24 million payment to Sanders may have been reflected as individual trading card guarantee. Wow. Okay. Yep. Something that likely would have been negotiated before he slipped from round 1 to round 5. Okay. Now what's interesting, because he didn't have age, I wonder what lawyer did that. If that's the case on the guarantee for the trading card. Regardless, the 17, not irregardless, regardless, that's an inside joke. The $17.7 million Sanders made in royalty for 1 year dwarfs the total 4-year value of his rookie contract. The payment also exceeds the full 4-year contract signed by Packers receiver Matthew Golden, the 23rd pick in the round 1 last year. Sanders could have a large payment next year in LM2 too. In March, Sanders changed the number to 12-2. Well, them jerseys going to fly. Any jersey set that fueled his royalty payments for the first NFL season. Now, Zoe, I'll ask you a question. And this is what I've always tried to explain to people. If Shedeur would have went to FAU, you think this would have happened? Do you think that he would have got the launch pad at FAU playing down there compared to going to Jackson State?
Nope.
And the platform that Jackson State gave?
No.
This is totally built because of the power of HBCUs at Jackson State University.
So I'm finna really mess you up. I want to say this. My bad. I want to mess you up with this. So Shedeur fell to the 5th round. Mind you, he was a backup all year until he only started 3 or 4 games the whole entire season.
Yep.
So the majority of the season he was a backup.
Oh, wait, Hutch, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, yeah, Zoe's going to address this, but go ahead, Zoe.
So actually, this is not a reach, because here's the thing: if you look at the money that Shedeur made in his rookie season, we're not just talking about NFL contract, but if you look at the money that Shedeur has made total for his rookie season, Shedeur actually matched or may have surpassed just by a hair what Cam Ward made in his first year. And Cam Ward was the first overall pick in the NFL draft. So Shedeur made more money off the field than what he made on the field. But the fact that he made so much money off the field speaks to, again, his celebrity, and so many fans wanting to see him do good. And even now, that's actually heading even more so into this upcoming season. They went ahead and named
so the only reason why he did not, so I'm gonna show this real quick, but your point is still valid. And the only reason, and I figured that's what it was going to be. I figured when I show this, what did Cam Ward make his first year?
Cam made
is because he got that
million.
Bonus.
Yep.
Because he got that signing bonus.
Yep.
But his base salary, $8.9 million, 100%. 100%. 100%.
So Shedeur is doing very, very, very well for himself. So, but again, we're talking about a backup quarterback. But it goes to show, and there's momentum into year 2, because they're going to go ahead and start. What's my guy name? I forget his name from Clemson. Deshaun Watson is going to start, because they want to see if they can get some recoup of their money, if give him a chance. But man, they're not going to give him a really chance to succeed, because the first itching of any type of decline on his play, they're going to push Shedeur in there, and Shedeur is going to be the starter and lead that team. And I'm telling you, the moment that happens, it's going to shoot up with even more product, because at this point in his second year, you're going to see a lot more legendary merch. You see what I'm saying? They're going to push that too. So Shedeur, man, if you look at where he was in the 5th round, look at all the other draft picks. He's I mean, forget just the draft picks. He's dwarfing like so many other superstars in the NFL right now. And it's not even close.
So I want you to address this right here. And I want to say what I said. Let's understand, I'm not discounting the Colorado part. I said if he would have started at FAU, compared him starting at Jackson State,
there's no comparison.
So yes, so Hutch, JSU did make him popular.
So let me
we would have known who Shedeur was playing down there at FAU. No way.
Let me say this. Let me say this, Hutch. This is the whole thing about a lot of black people want to devalue Jackson State. Let me speak this from a first-hand view of all of this. Even when Deion Sanders came to Jackson State, watch this. Deion Sanders has been in Colorado for 2 years now, right? Okay. Now you tell me between Jackson State and Colorado, which destination appeared to be more of a perfect fit for the coach? It's not Colorado. Jackson State and Deion Sanders was a perfect marriage. It's a fact. We have enough data to see it. The same thing relates to Shedeur and all the players who were signed. There was a buzz and a synergy when they were here at Jackson State that flipped the college football landscape on its head. No one can deny that. There was some buzz when he left Jackson State to go to Colorado because he's on the Power 5 level, but it did not rival what he did at Jackson State. We have enough data and all the evidence to see that. So it wasn't that Jackson State made Shedeur. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that Shedeur and Jackson State was a perfect marriage, and because the two of them were married, the elevation came because they were together. That's a fact. It's a fact.
100% fact.
And so, yes, to Steve's point, if Shedeur was at FAU, no, the buzz.
No. Well, see, you can't know Hutch. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to let you change the narrative because they already had a coach. That's why he was going down there with Willie Taggart. Willie Taggart was the coach, and Deion was cool with him going down there to play for Willie Taggart. So
Deion at FAU does not create the same frenzy. Let me tell you why. Because you're trying to discredit what Jackson State had beforehand. Look, FIU was not selling out their games because guess what? Not only did they have Willie Taggart, Steve, they had Lane Kiffin, who has all the buzz, right? They had Lane Kiffin and Willie Taggart. And Lane Kiffin is the draw. Lane Kiffin is probably the biggest draw from a coaching standpoint on the FBS level by name. Twitter fingers and all that, right? Because he's going to do all this stuff to drum up on Twitter. And it's not the same. It's not the same, and it wouldn't have been the same. So people want to act like had Deion Sanders. I tell you what, Steve, I'm finna really go here. People act like basically what they're saying is Deion Sanders could have went to any HBCU and it would have been the same thing. That, my friend, is a lie. That's an untrue statement. Jackson State provides Deion Sanders with some optics that other HBCUs can't. That's just point blank period. Look at the picture. I tell you what, look at that. Look at the picture behind me. You're not getting that at any other HBCU. Look at it. No other HBCU is giving you those optics. Maybe Tennessee State, but y'all know, like I know, Tennessee State ain't got fans like that. And we were doing this before Prime, but we were down with buzz because, again, it was a happy marriage. Jackson State needed Deion Sanders and Shedeur, and they needed Jackson State as well. And so because it was a powder keg, but we want to sit here and act like, oh, had he been anywhere, oh, it would have been the same thing. That simply isn't true.
No. And let me tell you this, and see, and this is what you guys, and again, I have no problem having this conversation, but this is what happened when you discount the power of the black culture. This was a black cultural phenomenon for black people. This made black people feel good. Him going to FAU, and I'm gonna say this again, Deion, like I say, keep it what the fact was. He would have went to FAU with Willie Taggart. That's who would have been coach. And he would have been, nobody would have known about that shit. Well, glad happy for Shedeur. But when he came, and like you said, Deion is part of it, and his son, and mind you, people have been watching Shedeur, so he was a little bitty on that reality show. He comes to Jackson, Mississippi, black ass Jackson, 60,000 strong, and you're not gonna tell me where all those people that became fans that started there and then again moved to Colorado, which is fine. But I said what I said. The foundation of that popularity was built at Jackson State University. And because of the way they went to Jackson State, because that was a cultural phenomenon. You literally have people, and like I said, I will never forget this. So y'all, this was on one of y'all 1400 shows. Y'all have went, I don't know where y'all were at. and y'all had like a show, and the people came, y'all were doing, had a crowd. And this woman was like, I just want to come meet y'all because I'm a Deion fan. I'm gonna stay a Jack State fan. I'll never get that. I'll never get it. Y'all were all sitting there, and it was really beautiful. She said, I came in, I don't know where y'all were playing at, but she drove in. Woman had never been no football fan. She was a Cowboy fan or something like that. But she said, I just wanted to be around something black. And this was just a, and it was an amazing time. Yeah, now EA, now here's what now FAMU people, I'm gonna say this. That's all I'm gonna say this. But it would have been different. Because if Deion had been in Tallahassee.
Here's the thing.
The it's talking would have been different.
No, but I can speak to that. See, even EA, right? And hear me when I say this. Yes, it probably would have been similar at FAMU, right? But I urge you on this. Yes, it would have had the buzz because he's from Florida. I understand all that, but I want you to visualize right now, EA. I want you to visualize a packed out stadium there in Tallahassee. Visualize the packed out Bragg. A packed out Bragg ain't giving you the optics of a packed out Vet. It ain't. You can't duplicate that. And guess what? And also you have to understand, you're introducing, whether it's FAMU, to the masses of people who aren't familiar with FAMU, right? A packed out Bragg ain't gonna look like, from an optic standpoint, what a packed out Vet gonna look like. Because for people who were unfamiliar with Jackson State, just think about that. They think, high school stadium. They think something inferior. But then you go, it's like, oh my God, that looks like an SEC stadium. Oh, they're getting all these guys there. Oh, they're fans, and then also add to the fact that our fans did their part as well. Our fans are rabid. We have the most prominent fan base of all the HBCUs. That ain't up for debate. So that's what I'm saying. It's a perfect marriage. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, the swagger and all the energy would have been the same in FAMU. I could say probably FAMU, maybe even Southern, but the same thing. A packed out Southern is not gonna move the masses to people who are familiar with HBCU ball. And I'm talking about all these other races who are unfamiliar. A packed out Mumford or a packed out Bragg ain't gonna do to people like what a packed out Memorial, a packed out Vet is. That's just facts.
Yeah, only thing I will say is so it's two things. I think so. Here's what I think. Why the conversation, to EA's point, and I think both things can be true, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because the story of having 55,000 black people, because you guys got the stadium to do it,
and we fill it up.
The story from a media standpoint of him being across the street from Florida State.
I get that. And
that's what I think EA is kind of talking about, because listen, so you gotta understand something. And EA, when I was down there, them white folks did not like Deion. That's why they didn't give Deion. That's why it took forever for them to retire Deion's jersey. And Deion being Deion, just what he would have said, would have had to take me come across the street for me to blah 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 blah. That would have caused utter hell. What's our boy name? What's the guy? Paul Feinbaum. They would have been calling Paul Feinbaum show every 5 seconds about that. They're down there talking about Florida State. And he don't appreciate it. Because they went crazy when Deion just said, "Hey, I'm an HBCU alum because I didn't get my degree from Florida."
So let me address. So like somebody said, a packed out stadium is a packed out stadium. That's so untrue. And when I'm talking about to the masses, I'm talking about introducing new people who are unfamiliar, who don't know Jackson State, who don't know FAMU. Oh, there are plenty of people who don't. That's not cap. I'm saying there are plenty of people who don't know Jackson State, who got introduced to Jackson State when Prime was here. The same thing would have happened had he been at FAMU or Southern. All I'm saying is when it's a whole new product open to a whole new thing, just like when we had game day at Southern. When they see it and you stand outside the stadium and you seeing that big ass stadium, home of the JSU Tigers. A lot of people don't know that. I'm just telling you, when you got a 20,000 seat stadium and it's sold out, that's not gonna wow you like a 60,000 seat stadium sold out. That's just facts. And me saying it is not trying to demean FAMU or Southern, because it seems like whenever we say something that kind of doesn't go with everybody who they feel about their school, Like, I'm not shitting on FAMU or Southern or anybody else.
No, and
No,
I know
no,
what you're saying.
I'm just saying, because whenever we say something, it's almost like, oh, well, no, it'd be like this. I'm like, again, I sit there and I said, yes, had they been at FAMU, yeah, it would have been buzz. It would have been buzz in Southern. There are certain schools, any one of the blue bloods, I would say minus probably South Carolina State, that it would have been crazy. I think even at Tennessee State. But the thing
Yeah,
is,
I don't know about that.
but
But I think my point of Tennessee State so dead.
but
So
but
I'm
but the
gonna play a little something with what Bucky said, because I thought this was interesting too, right here.
Them Jackson State days was, bro, that was magical, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
We skipped over that case, forget them Jackson State days.
Yeah,
'Cause that was so real, right?
Yeah, that was really magical, and
Yeah.
it's definitely surreal, and I miss them days, dog. Those days were special. For sure.
Yeah, to even get, Shadur to go there, even to get Shiloh, to get Travis to go to that school, right? Because we know Jackson State is what people don't know is Jackson is not no regular place. That's the hood of hoods. You know what I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
it's predominantly black and real poverty. They didn't have no water at the time, right?
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah.
But they, football wise and even school wise, they have a very rich tradition.
Yeah.
So that Jackson State shit is really in their blood. Like,
Yeah.
and that's how it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
Like, that's how people rep the Ohio States to this or that. And Jackson State is up there with them.
Legendary.
Jackson State's a big dog.
Right.
It's a legendary school. You got some of the greatest NFL players ever came through Jackson State. So, but it was just, it was surreal, and
Yeah.
it was needed. It was needed for us to go there. It was needed for Shador to go there as part of his journey, because those kids was dogs. As you can see, the kids that we brought to Colorado from Jackson State, they were the best. They all conference.
Most vicious.
So it's like them schools got people
Yeah.
that could do it now,
Mhm.
better than a lot of these schools. They
Yeah.
just were overlooked, but it shaped Shador's mentality when we play Arizona State. And they see Shador grab somebody's mouthpiece and throw it in the stand, or they just see the dog that Shador is.
For sure.
It's like, don't get me wrong, his life shaped that, but Jackson State shaped that too.
To
And all them
another level.
HBCUs, the SWAC, playing those type of kids,
Yeah.
where they getting in your face, and there's some real gritty shit going on. And
Yeah.
you really got to become like, bro, you got me. You got to really become a dog. Like that was Shador mentality. Like when Travis got hit on the sideline and nobody else stood up for him when we played Colorado State.
Right.
Shador run all the way down the field and push bro and get in his face.
Right.
That's that Jackson State. Like,
Mhm.
that should grow you. That should mature you, and it teaches you how to be a man.
Hey man, listen, and we're gonna move on from this, because my main point, and I'm gonna stick to what my point was, because like people want to deflect from the point. The point where I asked Zoe the question was, if he had went to FAU, would it have been the same promotional trajectory
No.
if compared to him going to Jack State? Because to
No.
anything, he wouldn't FAMU, Southern, whatever. But my point was that $17.7 million foundation happened at HBCU.
Yep.
Point blank, period. And his brother even said it. His brother, who filmed everything and who ain't got no dog and no fight, and told it just like it is. So only thing I'm just saying is that this shows the possibility. If you get the right branding, the right person, the right players, you can make this type of money because of the popularity. So again, is there another Dion out there and all that stuff, and and all that? Yeah, I don't know about all that. But my point of it is the foundation that it was built on was built from HBCU. So I just had to point that out there. So I just had to get that out there, because everybody it's just crazy. But $17 million, bro. And like I said, he ain't worried about getting drafted. And so let me tell you, and what I told everybody, the really big thing is, guess what? At the end of the season, he's gonna be a free agent. So he gonna be able to. So if something happens good for him, and he plays, they're gonna have to franchise tag him, or guess what? They're gonna give him first round money anyway. If you don't believe me, ask Dak Prescott. That's exactly what happened with Dak Prescott.
Mhm.
Because he wasn't drafted first round. They had, and he played well his first 2 years. They had to pay him that money. That's why Dak has always gotten that money. So that's why sometimes, if you don't get drafted in the first round and you play, it can still work
You
out.
ball out.
Ball out, man. So yeah, so absolutely. So I just thought that was pretty incredible. So listen, we're gonna get on to your folks at the SWAC, and they got the broadcast schedule. And so I'm gonna turn this in. And you know what? And I'm looking for somebody because I'm gonna take the side of Prairie View on this when I get to this point. But the SWAC, the SWAC has shown their SWAC TV schedule. So we're gonna pull this up and kind of look at this. And what I found interesting is that what I like about what the SWAC and SWAC TV is going to be awesome is that when you got a school, let me pull this up. There you go. So this is the schedule right here. So we'll kind of go by it. So of course you got Grambling and FAMU, and there's looks like Alcorn and Alabama A&M and Alabama State and Grambling and Southern, Alabama A&M again, Valley. Then you got Bethune-Cookman on the 12th, starting again, Prairie View on the 19th, Alabama A&M, Jackson State. So this is all on the 19th. Wow. Valley, Southern, Bethune-Cookman, Alabama, UAPB, Alcorn, FAMU. This is going on the 26th. 26th again, Alabama State, Southern, Grambling, Bethune-Cookman, Valley, Alabama A&M twice again, back-to-back, Prairie View, Alcorn, Texas Southern. Going into October, Grambling, Texas Southern, Valley, UAPB, Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman, PB again, Valley, Texas Southern, Southern. And then we just round off at the end, Prairie View, and this is November, Texas Southern, Grambling. These are now basically at the end, these are all SWAC matchups. Bethune-Cookman and Grambling, Prairie View, and UAPB, Valley, and Jackson, and Valley and FAMU, Texas Southern, Alabama A&M, Alabama A&M, Valley, and Tuskegee and Alabama State. So, SWAC TV, what do you think about this amount of games and this level of access to our schools?
I love it because, again, you're talking about having the ability to have all your games shown to where you can see them. And as, you know, football fans as we are, you know, you can remember being back in the day, although you could go by his radio scores, and then when the internet came up, just looking at the scores, you know, say on an app or a sports app, trying to keep up to where now you literally could be in the stadium watching the other teams, keeping up live, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, watching those games. So it's a benefit, you know, and as long as you got the app anywhere in the country, anywhere in the continental USA, man, you can sit there and watch SWAC TV. Watch your team, keep up with your team, keep up with who's winning, who's losing. It's a great benefit. You talk about now at the point you can watch multiple games on SWAC TV as well as having HBCU go up, you know what I'm saying, as well as, you know, watching the game that's going to be on ESPN as well. So having these multiple applications to be able to watch SWAC TV, it's a damn good move, damn good thing.
No, man, I think this is awesome. So, man, so I'm going to say this. So you know what, so I found out, I guess everybody is a SWAC darling when it's come to SWAC TV, because I'm going to tell you something, Mississippi Valley, shout out to Mississippi Valley, all their games other than 2 is on SWAC TV. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be able to see them Delta Double Zone every week. So I think they might be darlings of the SWAC. Alabama A&M look like they got a whole lot of games. So I say that to say, because, you know, so, you know, once again, you know, we give people content. So, you know, we have a friend over there, said Brass. You know, once again, we were topic of the show. But I'm going to have to, you know, agree with the Prairie View folks. So I don't know if you know this, because, you know, most time people don't really care about this game. But Texas Southern people, and I'm going to show a little graphic, they are upset because the Labor Day Classic is going to be on Sunday at 11 a.m. And they made this little graphic to talk about them. Now, they not Prairie View folks dumb. Now, I'm not agreeing with this, but I'm talking about this because this is going to be a point. So my man here said Prairie View folks are just plain dumb, so they're literally walking away from a potential $1.2 million gate for exposure. That's real dollars and cents that would have stayed with the university. TV contract money goes to the conference, not the university. Now, this game is being played at 11 a.m. because ESPN apparently went to Prairie View and said, hey, we want to show you the game on Sunday at 11 Central. I guess that would be 12 noon. So let's be caught because Eastern time is 12 noon. Mm-hmm. And Prairie View was like, yeah, shit, no problem. Now, my boy said, not to mention attendance will be way down. There'll be more people at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. Now, I guess that's somewhere in Houston, maybe, or Prairie View, I don't know, than that game. Exposure does not pay bill, real money does. So I got a question. Ain't this Prairie View game, and can't Prairie View do what the hell they want to do with their game?
Yeah, they can, but I also have to say this. If ESPN wants to move the game, there's nothing Prairie View can do. If they want to move the game, they can move the game. If that game was obligated to be on ESPN, ESPN has the autonomy to move the game whenever they want to move it. That's not a new thing. That's not a new thing that happens in the SEC. That happens in the NFL. You know, NFL will flex a game to a different time, and you can't sit there and say, "Oh, we don't want the game there." The NFL is going to, do it, flex it, and that's all that this is. They flex the game to 11 a.m.
You know, so when I saw this, and this is the thing about it, the game was at Texas Southern last year.
Mm-hmm.
Game wasn't even sold out.
Yeah, and the game this year won't be sold out.
Exactly.
The game next year won't be sold out.
Since you sit up here worrying about Prairie View, Texas Southern, here's my thing. And you crying, oh, the game is at 11. We going and shout out to my people from talking with like Glenn, shout out to 1906, Glenn, Alpha. Says a big mega church. And my boy B. George says Will is in the 3rd Ward. He used to shout out 3rd Ward. I'm like, man, listen, Texas Southern people. Listen, and I'm about to get Coach Cole on this. Because I need to understand. Man, y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Because the only way to shut all this up is to beat them boys. I think them boys done beat y'all like 10 out of the last 12 years or something like that. Prairie View, 10 out of the last 12 years. And y'all sitting up here crying about when this game is. Man, listen. Yep. This game, and I will say this to Prairie View. Show up. Sell it out. It's your game. You guys said that, man. So my challenge to you is you want to tell all the people up, sell it out. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Bethune and FAMU was at 12 noon, still gonna get the same amount of people. If Jackson State and Jackson State and Alcorn, 12 noon, gonna get the same. The Bayou Classic has been moved to 1 o'clock before. They get 56,000 people. So my thing is, this is supposed to be the Labor Day Classic, and all G Boom said, "Hey man, your boy was using AI quicker than Trump making it." And that's where I was like, man, you sitting there and counting these folks' money, and here's the thing: he said they losing $1.2 million. It ain't like Texas Southern got any of that money. See, this would to me, if this was like, FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, I'm assuming Grambling and Southern do the same thing. They split the game to Bayou Classic, just like what we do with Bethune. I would be okay if that Labor Day Classic was like that, right, Zone? And Texas Southern like, whoa. We share this money. You messing up our money. Our folks can't get there. We ain't gonna make no money. But bro, it's their game. Thank you. Exactly. You can move it. So my thing is to both of these jokers, sell the game out. And I don't want to hear nothing about what people watching on TV, because the one thing I will tell you all that's been making this argument, will people watch? To their point, the direct money is with seats, butts in the seats. So do not discount the fact that people, the Southerns, the FAMUs, the Jackson States, get butts in the seats. Because I'm going to tell you what that does. They go directly to the bottom line. Now, you can argue about ratings this and who watched this on Swag TV, but I'm going to tell you what your AD counting, because that's why they want them season tickets sold, because that's your money. So what I'll say to both sides is, Texas Southern, man, get up off that. So that's them folks. But Prairie View, if y'all going to move to 11, y'all should pack that joint out. Point blank, period. Y'all should pack that joint out. Because if y'all don't pack it out, then you're going to prove their point. Because all they're going to say is, see, we moved the game at 11, ain't nobody come. Because it's 3,000 people at that game. And so that's on a Sunday. And we might have a show. You know we're going to clown.
We're going to put the high low at 4,500.
4,500?
Yeah.
No, let me put that down. Like Ernie do on Inside the NBA. Let me get my post-it note and put that on the wall. 4,500? Damn.
High low at 4,500.
Man, listen, you know what?
Hold on. How much the stadium? Hold on. How much the stadium hold? 15,000? Yeah, a little less.
Oh, they got upgrades, so they done upgraded now, so it's looking nice and pretty. So you say 4,500?
They ain't upgrade. They ain't upgrade to add the numbers in the seats. So 15,000 stadium, they'll do less than half.
Glenn said he gonna take the under. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna be an optimist. I'm gonna say they're gonna get over 5,000.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying they're gonna get over 5,000 because I believe the PV12 has got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've seen the numbers. I've seen said show go from 5 people to 15 people. So I know they can get that growth. I know they can get that growth. Emmett, 10,000? Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, you know what? Now I got to go look. I don't think they had 10. Wait a minute. Well, maybe they did. Okay. We got Prairie View people. How many people had that game last year? Was it over 10,000? I think, you know what? You might be, maybe, because it was, I don't know. It wasn't too much far over there. Y'all let me know what the amount of people that hot Saturday night wasn't over 10,000 people. Because see, they say they're in the era zone, it's in the era and all this stuff.
I got a question. What game last year was Prairie View homecoming? Was it Alabama State?
No, that was no. That couldn't have been Alabama State.
Arkansas Pine Bluff or Valley?
They
played Lincoln. They played Lincoln for homecoming last year.
No.
And they did 11,427.
Oof, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you ain't getting that, bro. You ain't getting that. I like my 5. I like my 5. I feel strong that we're gonna have a strong 5. I think T-Jack gonna at least buy 500 tickets and give them away. I feel really good about that. I feel really good. And I feel really good, they're gonna do, Said gonna do a little podcast. He'll get 15, 20 people to come. Lionel gonna get 50, 60 people to come just because his podcast. So hey man, listen, we already getting almost to 70, 80 right there. Right there. So now y'all got to give us another 4,800, to get to 5,000. I feel really good, man. I feel really good. I feel really good. Wait, let me see. G, shout out to G-Boom always showing up. Takes up at Victor Furniture Stadium. Hey man, listen. They say they ain't got nothing to do with this game. They said their folks is gonna be at church at Wheeler. Now y'all are not being good partners in football, man. Shout out to Adrian Crook, man. Adrian probably working. Crook be working. I ain't gonna never talk about a man that be working. Shout out to Crook, man, showing up. Shout out to everybody. Hey, man, listen. Quick reset, man. You got the 2 Mississippi boys in the building, sipping on Sundays, Off Script Network, the Rocky Miller channel, man. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe, man. We got a lot going on. Missed you guys for 2 weeks, man, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So, Zoe, got to talk about the white folks business now. So we got to move on up. Hey, shout out to PB12 now. Texas talk about 10 like they change. Oh man. Shout out to Crook, man. Crook, my guy. Like I said, Crook, I ain't got no problem with his troll because at least he show up. Other people be talking shit, but he don't show up. All right, man. But Zoe, your boy, the legend, Nick Saban, came out and is upset, Zoe, that y'all black folks is making money. And he had a little something to say about this new law that they're trying to put in. I think that's the SCORE Act. And we're going to listen to what your boy Nick got to say. And there's some other folks, and man, there's some white folks that even stood up against Nick on this. So we're going to play this about your boy Nick here. And how he's upset. And he's now worried about the poor little Olympic sports. He ain't never been worrying for. But this is Nick Saban sitting in front of Congress. Greatest college football coach in here, so they say. Nick Saban. Talk about why y'all black folks should get no money.
My first year we had collective at Alabama, 2.7 million. Next year, 7 million. Next year, 10 million. I retired. Next year, 17 million. Next year, 24 million. Now you have schools that have close to $40 million rosters. So if we continue to do that, we're going to lose Olympic sports. We're going to lose non-revenue sports. We're going to lose scholarships. And basically what's going to happen is you're going to have football and basketball succeed, and we'll have club sports for everything else. Basketball. Let me give you the history. My first year we had, next year, 10 million. I retired. Next year, 17 million. Next year, 24 million. Now you have schools that have close to $40 million.
Now, so he said We can't. It's not sustainable. But let me tell you what one of the white folks said that heard this. They kind of didn't. They were kind of upset about this. I'm gonna play one right now, because I said, wait a minute now. This is white folks going against each other. That usually don't happen. So this is Colin Cowherd, and this was his response to what your boy Nick Saban said. Hold on one second. Run that back. Here we go. No, what's going on here? Hold on. Why is this not playing?
Free market with college football.
Hold on.
Never talk much about budgets back. I know Nick Saban a little, and I like him. But some of this, Nick Saban made over $100 million in the free market with college football. Never talked much about budgets back then. If the Alabama athletic director would have said, Nick, we got to make some cuts, Nick would have turned to his agent, Jimmy Sexton, and said, call Texas or find the money. Nick Saban this week put his support to a bipartisan bill that college football is a runaway freight train. One of his quotes was, if you had the biggest, baddest Ferrari, it's going 150 miles an hour toward the Grand Canyon, somebody needs to tap the brakes. Nick was never publicly tapping the brakes when he was the highest paid coach, or there was a facilities building war. I mean, for years and years, Oregon, Texas, Bama were spending hundreds of millions on facilities. And now we're spending $1.2 million on a wide receiver who's going to be a first-round pick. And we got to tap the brakes. I didn't hear Nick and a lot of these coaches that worried about the Olympic sports. And college athletic departments have been a house of cards forever. Forever. They're bloated, nonsensical, 30 teams, 28 hemorrhage money. And I've said that for years. I would have cut them years ago. I mean, universities drop courses and majors all the time. You can't drop fencing, wrestling. So all I know is that when coaches' salaries exploded, nobody talked about a Ferrari in the Grand Canyon. Alabama just finished a football operations center. $300 million. At the current rate, that would pay for about 7 Bama teams over 7 years. So all I'm saying is the college football revenue, according to a report I read this morning, is larger than 35 other college sports combined. In fact, if the sport is in so much trouble, why did the Big Ten over the last 2 months report that their payouts to all the university teams, members, were going to be 25% higher than expected? So the revenues are through the roof. The quality is unbelievable. I know Nick Saban a little.
So, please explain to me why these white folks getting lie in our face time and time again.
I mean, it's
And they are
prototypical,
bad.
but it's prototypical Nick Saban. Think about it. When I had any issues while I was coaching, anything that was going to deem a problem to me, I'm going to run to the NCAA to try to make some changes to benefit me. When he had to deal with, these high-powered no-huddle offenses, we had to put rules in place with substitution, to help out. Anything to help him. But my guy, Colin Cowherd, is spot on. He said what we've always said, man. It's like, now it's a problem because the players are getting money, but it wasn't a problem when he was getting money. And Nick Saban not only got crazy money, man. Nick Saban got a Mercedes dealership too. You know what I'm saying? But also, it wasn't a problem when you were paying players before it was cool, before NIL. I mean, everybody know about the Alabama football players and their charges, dog. Like, it's not a secret. But it's cool when you do it, but it's a problem when it's even and everybody else can do it. You know what I'm saying? So now, because now you're gonna have schools, Steve, like you're gonna have schools that have the ability to spin and make some changes. Like SMU, I don't know if more people realize, but SMU could spin with all of them. You know, you have schools that you don't think of that can spin with all the big boys. They can
And
probably
they
can outspin, and they can some of them, like SMU can outspin Alabama. Real talk.
Bro,
So it's like
any Texas school. Texas school. Look at what your boys in Texas Tech is doing. He ain't even blinking. He ain't even thank you. Thomas Ray, he said your boy Texas Tech, that billionaire who actually was sitting on in that conference with Nick Saban.
And it's a group of them. It's a group of them working together. And
shout out to what is this? AWAC shy 11. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing how the rule with the man, it always changes for the man. It always, but you know, man, what's crazy about this, and this is the thing. So this is gonna get to what's gonna lead into my second part. So the Congressional Black Caucus, you know, they partnered with the NAACP. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But they wrote a letter because they shot, you know, so Congressional Black Caucus said, "No, we ain't down with this." So they used their voting block and they voted against the bill. They the ones basically killed the bill. So here's the letter that they wrote right here. And this is the Senate bill now they're talking about because they killed the House bill. And this is the chairman, I believe, that wrote this from the CBC. And I want you guys to see this. I write on behalf of the Congressional Black Caucus to urge you to pause consideration of the Protect College Sports Act in 2026 and any similar legislation that will confer additional protections, authorities, benefits, or legal certainty upon college athletic institutions while their leadership remains silent in the face of ongoing attacks on Black political representation. In May 18th, the Congressional Black Caucus is a statement expressing unanimous opposition to the SCORE Act because it continues silence of college athletic leadership. We're talking about the white schools regarding efforts to weaken Black political power. So I'm going to skip all down that. I'm going to get to this part right here. For generations, Black athletes have helped build college athletics into one of the most powerful and profitable industries in American life. The success and visibility from talent, labor, and leadership and cultural contribution of Black communities. The Congressional Black Caucus believes institutions that profit from Black talent and Black communities have a responsibility to stand with those communities. So that's what they said right there. Now, there's another part to this, because there's the other part I think I want to get to that I'm looking for. So the Congressional Black Caucus talked about the issue before it's large in college athletics, where it's institute that benefit from talent, labor, and cultural institutions. Yeah, blah, blah. So your boy, Chris Murphy, who's a senator, he said basically, I'm going to say what the CBC is trying to be nice. And white man had to say it just plain and simple. And I want to hear what you guys think about this right here. Because this right here just said it all right here. And this is Senator Chris Murphy. I think Chris Murphy is in Connecticut. I believe he's the senator, Democratic senator for Connecticut. And he's against this bill. This is Chris Murphy.
There's a new college sports bill moving through the Senate right now, and I want to tell you what it does. It basically sets up two different systems, two different sets of rules, one for the adults that run and profit from the billion-dollar college sports industry, and a different system, a different set of rules for the student athletes. It restricts the compensation for the athletes who, by the way, in basketball and football are primarily Black athletes, and does nothing to restrict.
Wait a minute. Let me run that back real quick for the folks in the back. Let me run that back for the folks in the back, Zoe. Because Chris Murphy said it out loud.
In basketball and football are primarily Black athletes, and does nothing to restrict the compensation for the adults who run the industry. Those are the coaches, the athletic directors, the sports industry CEOs, who are, by the way, mostly white. One example of how there are two different systems is in how endorsement deals are handled. If you're a college athlete under this bill, you are going to have to get, for the first time in recent memory, the NCAA to approve your endorsement deal. That's not how things work today, but under this bill, the NCAA will be able to deny an athlete an endorsement deal, but not for coaches. Coaches get to do whatever endorsement deals they want. The NCAA has no say in that. If a booster wants to send money to a player, that's regulated. But if a booster wants to supplement the salary of a coach, that's unregulated. Once again, establishing two different systems, one that applies to the kids, to the student
blacks.
athletes, one that applies to the adults.
The whites.
The biggest injustice in college sports today, it's $1 billion industry, but the adults have rigged the system so that they get almost all of that money. And these athletes, putting their health and life on the line, especially in college football, get the scraps. I think the current system is out of control, but this isn't the way to fix it. Any bill whose chief impact is to limit the share of the pie that goes to student athletes, to put more bureaucratic hurdles in the way of endorsement deals, is a bill that should not see the light of day on the Senate floor.
So,
and Steve, you know what else? When we talk about, you have a lot of college football players who, because it's been put out now, who are living in 4,000 or 5,000 square foot homes on campus, driving Lamborghinis, and so many people have a problem with the imagery of that, right? And we're starting to see that now. Oh my God, no athlete, no college kid should be living in a house like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're seeing this. And so that's part of the problem as well. And so, it's all about control and what we don't want to see happen. Because again, I can give you an example, like some of the kids up at Ole Miss, like where they live, what they drive, it stirs the ire of a lot of people. It really, really does. From different universities as well. But again, everybody's not on equal plane. And that's the main thing. Yes, it is out of control, but Ole Miss is not even coming close to the tip of the iceberg when you talk about money that's being paid to some of these kids. You had one kid at Colorado that barely even played and was getting $800,000 last year. He barely played. So again, that is part of it to prevent Black generational wealth. But again, it's just they're making a mockery of it. Players need to have regulation. They can't get paid, but coaches can get whatever they want. And that is a problem.
Well, here's the thing. And thank you. You can hear me, right? No, he said be right back, I guess. Thank you, Chris Murphy, for saying it out loud. And you know what, EA, let me bring EA, because this, EA, let me tell you something. When I hear Black people saying it's out of control and, they need to do something, why? Please tell me why. And tell me how you can explain it better than a senator who is white, who said, I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. These white folks is making all the money. They ain't regulating their money, but the Black athlete who's bringing in all the money, we want to regulate. This is just crazy for you to even sit up there and side on it. And for you guys, some of you all, to not understand the bigger picture of what the Congressional Black Caucus is saying. And this is actually what the NAACP is part of it too, which goes back to the Callis decision, how the political part always plays into the financial part. So for people to sit back there and like Nick Saban, that has made $100 million off of the Black athlete, and to sit back there and act like he cares about swimming, which he doesn't, act like he cares about water polo, which he doesn't. You need to stop it. And man, so my thing is, again, where's the fairness for the people that's making the money? I want to know where that's at. And for people to sit back there and say, oh, it's going, hey, and if the system breaks, what? You think they're going to stop playing football? Do you all really think that the Big Ten is going to stop? You know what the Big Ten going to do? You know what SEC going to do? They're going to do what they said. Y'all can't afford to do it. We can. They're already letting you know we're not worried about, because I'm going to tell you a secret. Because I read stuff. You know who did not sign off on the bill? The SEC and the Big Ten.
Yeah, because they're going to threaten, their leverage is always going to be the breakaway.
So they don't care. So for everybody else, So this is the thing. What gets to my point? What kind of upset me about, and this goes to the NAACP thing. And I'm going to make a point. We're going to do a history lesson because some of y'all do not know the ages of people like John Lewis and Martin Luther King and people like that. And y'all think people 60, 70 years old. And oh, these kids are so young. I do not want to hear somebody saying these kids are too young. These kids are grown. And this has been, and they are not the first group of football players or athletes in the recent memory, which I can pull that up, that have protested for things ain't right. But I'm going to get to this point. And this is what should have happened. The SWAC wrote a letter. SWAC, the MEAC, SIAC, they supported the bill.
About 4 weeks, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
They supported the bill. They wrote the letter to CBC, and the CBC was like, nah. So here's my thing. So to black people, I'm gonna tell you how this should work next time. Y'all all know each other. Y'all all drink liquor together. Y'all all come down to Celebration Bowl. Y'all should have had a meeting. And the conference should say, hey, listen, CBC, this is what we think. This is why it's hurting us. NAACP, what do y'all think? Well, hey, we talk about the political side of it. We're talking about we want these players to protest. And then how about you have some players actually there, though? I want to tell you this. I know a lot of smart football players and basketball players. And stop acting like all they do is play video games. A lot of these kids are very knowledgeable what's going on in the world. So how about all y'all should have gotten in a room with the black athletes? You could have got, and trust me, don't act like there was not represented. You saw during George Floyd, I saw many of these college men and women that you could have said, hey, listen, we need some of y'all to come to this black meeting like in the old days.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Steve, I'm in the minority. I think these athletes, specifically all these football and basketball athletes, I truly believe they need to get together and try to organize and create a union.
No. I'm gonna get to that. Wait a minute, hold on. But that's what I'm saying. This is what this goes back to. Because if they would have all got together, because the argument was, well, we don't want the poor little black guys because of money. Okay. The NAACP said, well, how about guys? You know what? We don't want to hurt your money. How about you guys all get together and say, you know what? We want a voter campaign and we want to vote again. Just like the WNBA girls did. They didn't stop playing. They said, we want Kathleen, the owner from the Dream, we want her out. We want to vote for Warren. Them girls kept playing, still getting their money. So then you get with the CBC and you say, okay, SWAC, MEAC, why is this hurting you all? Well, we can't afford it. Well, then the CBC needs to say, you know what? In this bill, because this is all political, I don't care if it doesn't work or not, because we're not getting anything.
Yep.
We got to have some kind of money, a trust for the black conferences because they can't afford it. And then you have a unified message where you got the athletes, the NAACP, the black conferences, and the CBC all saying the same thing. And then it sounds better because you know what you got a bunch of people doing? You got a bunch of black people out there saying, oh, these kids are too young. We shouldn't do that. They don't know this. They don't know that. You add the conferences asked the CBC to do something, and they were like, oh, hell no. And then you got the NAACP, they're saying boycott, and they even talk to the black players. So that's the thing about it. When all of you all could have got together and said, let's get on one page. And this is what negotiation about. Because, see, Zoe, and again, history lesson, you have people that wanted to burn down buildings, you have people wanting to protest buildings.
Yep.
And they met up. And they say, you know what? This is how we're going to do. And this is the thing that people should have done. And this is why the thing is all over the place. And you got all this messaging when nothing's going to happen. So that's my thing. Well, here's the thing. Well, when people say, great question. What have they done lately? Well, the question is, it's not what have they done lately. Do you know what they've done, period? Because the CBC just told y'all bills that they try to pass. They're fighting against the callous decision. So again, we have to be part of these organizations. I'm not saying anything wrong with, I appreciate, hey, you always here, so I appreciate, but I like your point, but I'm answering your question. These organizations are us. We're the people that should be making up these organizations. So there's nothing wrong with the NAACP saying, hey, politically, we should have some skin in the game. These players do, because again, and I'm going to have to pull this up, because it just blew my mind when I saw people kept trying to say, where is this at? Hold on one second. When they're acting like, players didn't protest, and this thing just happened, and again, just recently, what y'all think those kids was doing with the George Floyd thing? But here's the thing. So I just want to point this out. So great article, First and Penn, and I saw it. Acquired migration, why the stakes have never been lower for an SEC boycott. Young black athletes have power and responsibility to wield it properly. But I want to pull this up because it's two things that happened recently. This recent, again, Kylan Hill. So we all knew about this. He was one man, Zoe. One player from Mississippi that started a movement with the flag. That was only 2020. University of Missouri football team. That wasn't no 30 years ago. They threatened the boy. They were not, them boys were not going to play because of racist incidents that happened in Missouri. The students, the black students have been protesting, right? They have been sitting up there, the president's giving them. But guess what, though? When no football players and Missouri plays in the SEC said, we are not playing the president. So stop telling me that this stuff has not happened. This was just it. So don't act like we do not have power. Now, I'm not saying how to do it, but do not come to me with the level of ignorance. They're saying these kids don't know what's going on. Because this is just some of the recent examples. And these are athletes. So what do you think about this? So you're going to tell me, so let's just say that these guys in Missouri, and let's go with the NAACP. And I'm not saying, hold on. I'm not saying this is right or wrong to do this. But if they all did it, guess what? Some stuff would change.
Yep.
I don't think, but my point of it is, I don't believe to the point is that you cannot have just one entity. My thing is, it should not be just the players. It should not be just this, just that. It has to be everybody together because they need to be, if they're going to go out there on the limb, we need to have and hold that branch. But I'm tired of people sitting back that don't know history, to start acting like that people were 50, 60, 70, 200 years old protesting. They were not.
It was kids.
It was kids. And I'm going to bring that up. We're going to give y'all a history lesson in a little bit because I don't think you guys understand. Again, John Lewis was 20s. In his 20s.
Dude, everybody on the Freedom Summer bus rides to Jackson, Mississippi, they were all 25 and under.
All 25 and under. Joe, I'm going to ask you a question. You might not know this. And this is what's funny. Do you know how old Martin Luther King was when he was killed?
39.
39. So let's roll that back. And let me say, well, hold on one second. Because
Hey, Steve, do you know how old Medgar Evers was?
No, go ahead and tell us.
He was in his 30s too.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, hold on. I can go down the line. Louisa, I can never say her name right. Louisa Vialuzzo. I can never say her name right. The white woman who was killed transporting people after Bloody Sunday. She was in her late 20s. I mean,
now listen. Here's the thing, so now listen, Scotty, and I'm saying this to tease. Scotty's not a political person. He's not here to tell you that he's not a political person. Scotty, I think, is 36 years old, right? 36. Okay. So you think everybody think, oh, Scotty's so young. He's really young, Zoe. He's really young. He doesn't know anything. That's why I hear people. Martin Luther King wrote the letter in Birmingham jail. He was 34 years old. 34.
Yep.
So I'm going to tell you all, please stop and go learn some history. So stop acting like that there's some pressure, because I'm going to tell you the difference between these kids. And again, we talked about Bill Russell. Zoe, you know who Bill Russell. We talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Russell would have been akin to LeBron James, came to Mississippi. They told him, Red Auerbach said, don't go down there. Bill Russell was at his prime. And he could have got killed. These kids ain't going to get killed.
Oh man, but
get murdered, Zoe.
Yeah, but what's my guy? I'm drawing the blank right now. Running back for Cleveland Browns.
Oh, Jim Brown.
Jim Brown was young at the peak of his career.
So that's what I'm saying. Stop acting like these kids are carrying the weight that our forefathers, and thank God that they did, that they had to kill where they were going to get killed. Where they really were going to get blackballed.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to stop this. And some of y'all need to do a history lesson, because if I hear another person talking about a poor kid, and I understand the money, that's why I did not say that they should do it, but I'm telling you that there is power in protest. And it just happened. And if they would have gotten together, and if we get together, then you can leverage that.
Well, Steve, I'm gonna say something different, right? What you're saying is true. There is power in protest, but you know what? Like you say, this may not be the best way to go about it. So I'm gonna use a different word. You know what there's power in? There's power in organization.
That's exactly it.
There's power in organization. There's power with working together because again, they hold the leverage. They hold the leverage. I'm gonna give you an example. Some people are not gonna like what I'm about to say, but it's still the same thing. When Grambling chose not to boycott the game in Jackson State.
A perfect example. No, that's a perfect example.
It reverberated. So I mean, just think if all these schools and these players did the same thing. People say, well, they get paid, they don't have a need to. Yes, they do, and yes, they can. I'm not saying like Steve to protest, but what I'm saying is if these athletes organize and get together to make a concerted effort to do something, to disrupt something, it would be very impactful.
You know, so that's what I guess my thing is when I hear, oh, these poor kids, they're so dumb, they don't do anything, they don't know anything. Man, stop acting like these brothers and sisters are ignorant, bro. You see it in the WNBA, you see it on college campuses, you see it all the time. Like I say again, they not just somebody don't care. And that maybe talks about maybe your morality and you can get bought and paid for. Just say that would be you. I ain't gonna do it because a white man paid me, I'm good. Just say that, but don't say that those kids. You don't know what those kids do because, like, you think that was at Collin Hill and Mississippi State. You think that was something safe for him to do? Just say, hey, this flag don't go, and he went out on limb by himself. Come on, man. It's just crazy. So that's the thing about it. So you know, I guess for me is that I'm gonna say this again. Ain't nobody asking no kid to go get shot. Ain't nobody asking no child to put their life on the line. But what I will say, an organization, which is the great word. So NAACP, CBC, the SWAC commissioner, the black college commissioners, the black players, man, y'all all get together and come out with a unified voice. And if you come out, you know what would be interesting, though? If they came out unified, we'd have their back. And I'm gonna say this again, because the biggest thing is about the voting. So if all those guys say, hey, listen, you know what? We all gonna wear a blue band on Monday, the first week of the season for voting to get it going. And we're gonna make sure the whole team is registered. And we're gonna do, and they did this because LSU, because I tell you what, I know this is a true story for a fact. Ed Orgeron, when it was George Floyd thing, they went to him and they wanted to march, right?
Sure did.
He said, we want to go because none of the guys were registered to vote. Oh, wait, now y'all shouldn't do that. And your boy Joe Burrow was like, bro, you on the wrong side here. Yeah, I'm with my boys. Your boy Sunshine for Clemson, when they wanted to change that name,
yep,
he made, and Dabo Swinney is a big trumper. He told Dabo, if you don't come to this Black Lives Matter and change, and they talking about changing the name of this building,
he said you're gonna lose this team.
You're gonna lose this team. White boy stood up. So that's what I'm saying. Stop acting like these guys don't get together on things. So that's why I'm just like, you know, so I want to put that out there because some of, you know, I've seen, you know, people doing shows and things like that. And, oh, black kids shouldn't make no money. College gonna go crazy. And that white man just told y'all ain't talking about them white folks. You ain't trying to ban their money. And then y'all sitting up there talking about, oh, these kids, they don't understand that. This is a different time. Bro, it ain't no different time. No different time in 2015.
Steve,
no different time in 2020.
Here's the crazy part. If this was the Olympic sports, man, we wouldn't be talking about none of this.
Well, that's what your boy Colin Cowherd said.
Yeah, because guess what? Remember, I don't know if you guys know this, but there are lots of women who are making millions for gymnastics and like other Olympic sports. Nobody's
making way more NIL money, or legit NIL money.
And nobody's saying anything, nothing about those sports. Gymnastics.
No, they don't care about the white girl. They don't care about the white girl flipping.
Listen. I'm talking about, man, softball players, gymnastics, women's basketball. Even one of them was like on a bowling team. I forgot which Power 4 program it was, but I'm telling you, in the track and field, man, Olympic sports, they're not They're getting bread, bro. Ain't
Bro,
nobody talking
Lily
about
Dunn,
it.
that white girl from LSU who wasn't even the best person on her team because she was blonde hair, blue eyed, was making millions.
Yep.
She never won a gymnastics championship. She never won an SEC. She wasn't even the best gymnast, but she was blonde hair, blue eyed, and that white girl knew how to make her money.
That's just
She
like
was the biggest NIL earners.
but that's
And-
just
and
like even she's
Kenya.
black. She's black, but like Jordan Childs at UCLA.
Oh, big
Man,
money.
she's making a killing in NIL. And again, nobody's talking about it. So it's like, but she's an outlier, right? Because when you look at gymnastics, it's a white sport. There are some black women in it, but they're a very, very small minority. But it's all solely on men's basketball and football. That's it. That is it.
Yeah. Well, that's what
No
the
one's
boys
talking. Look, they're right now. The super regionals are going on right now to head to the College World Series, and you got baseball players that's doing what they were doing. They used to always gripe about having to split scholarships for baseball. Notice there's nothing being said about their sport at all. Only thing that matters is football and men's basketball, and we know why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's influence money. Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's the money that they're getting. Absolutely. They're. What's funny about the NIL? The girls are actually getting true NIL marketing dollars. The girls are actually the one, and it's easier to be honest with you. As somebody in that bit, it is easier for women to sell products to other women compared to men because there's not a lot of products that men can sell. And what you gonna do? These boys ain't got no shoe deal. They can't sell no shoes. Girls can sell makeup, hair, clothes, fitness outfits, all types of stuff. Guys can't do that. So I know that for a fact. So Zoe, we're gonna move because I know you got to get up out of here. We got to get through this. Zoe, big announcement. The Legacy Bowl ain't gonna be in New Orleans no more, my brother. The Legacy Bowl is getting ready to come to the ATL. And I know why, but we're gonna talk about it right here. Shout out to HBCU Sports and Chris Stevens, who wrote this article. Chris, my guy right here. Great article right here. Legacy Bowl moves to Atlanta. Black College Football Hall of Fame announced Friday that the All-Star All-State HBCU Legacy Bowl will relocate Atlanta, Georgia, beginning in 2027. So, which will be this following football season because they play it in January. And, well, February. The annual showcase features the top draft-eligible players from historically black colleges and will hold its 2027 edition in Center Park Stadium. That's where they play the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And they're having a career fair zone on the 26th. Organizers said the move will strengthen events ties to HBCU communities while expanding opportunities for students and graduates. Nearly 50 HBCUs are located within driving distance of Atlanta, creating access to the career fair, which organizers describe as the nation's largest HBCU career fair. Atlanta represents tremendous growth and opportunity for the All-Star Legacy Bowl and young people we serve, said Doug Williams, co-founder. We believe the next chapter will elevate the experience of our students. So I'm going to go here. So I want to talk about this because we had Doug Williams on the show on HBC Coach's Corner. Shout out to HBC Coach's Corner. Me, Coach Cole, Rocky. We're going to have a Olympic great on Tuesday. We'll tell you a little bit about that. But this is smart because let me tell you what Doug Williams said to us when he did the interview. He said, listen, and the biggest thing, he said, I'm going to be honest with you. On this field, maybe 5-10 guys might get an opportunity to even get to a camp. But what I'm really excited about is every one of these guys can get a job. And we are really excited about the career fair. And they really, really talk to these guys.
It's growing too.
Come here and not be prepared to go to this career fair. And because the first couple of you guys didn't get it. And Doug had to sit these guys down and say, listen, you're not playing football anymore. This will be probably the last game that you ever play in pads. But that career fair that people are coming to talk to you, you better take advantage of. So this is all about, and I salute them, about making sure because the career fair is going to be open to all the alums and students along with players. And this is why they're moving into Atlanta. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Atlanta in February, it's going to be cold.
Look, you took it from me. I was going to say, listen.
Now, the only thing that I hate for these guys is that ain't nobody going to be in them stands.
Listen, man. I was going to say, honestly, I was going to speak to the career fair. Atlanta, from a business standpoint, has has a lot more to offer. When you talk about young people and hiring people, you got so many different Fortune 100 companies, Fortune 500 companies in Atlanta. Atlanta's just a bigger city. And honestly, for example, if you're in IT, Atlanta's the best place in the South to be for IT. I'm telling you this from firsthand experience, right? But the thing is that, Atlanta has the culture. The Black College Hall of Fame is in Atlanta, right? And so Atlanta's a great fit for it. The only thing, though, and anybody who's been to the Legacy Bowl will tell you, man, that weather on that weekend is amazing in New Orleans. The weather is amazing, and that's the only thing that I hate, because I'm going to Atlanta, and I want to go to the game and check it out, because it's a real good, it's a real good event. It really, really is. But that's the downside, because, man, February in Atlanta, bruh, it's cold. But the weather in New Orleans is amazing on that weekend. It's been every year.
It is. So I want to answer this question. So no, it is regular careers, not sports careers. This is a job fair with all types
It's
of
a
jobs.
job fair for everybody.
For everybody. So whatever major you major in, whatever you're doing, this is what Doug and them are, and they have brought these companies together that have committed.
And it's growing. It's growing. Yeah. It's growing. It's a lot of people came. I didn't go to the game this year, but I went last year, the year before, and the year before. That career fair is getting huge.
Yeah. No, I really like this. And I think, like I said, again, because they already do the Black College Hall of Fame, which we got to talk about that quickly. In Atlanta, of course, the SWAC Hall of Fame. So it's all Atlanta centric. And again, It just makes sense for them to bring it to Atlanta. So all we're going to do, so Doug and Shaq Harris, Grambling Greats, we just going to pray that it might get to 60 during those days. That's all we're going to do. We're going to pray. So we're going to get to the big part that a lot of people want, because I know I got to get you up out of here. Zoe, your boy McClellan said he done signed the deal and said he going to do something different. But hold on, that's not the one I want. Wait a minute. Pulled up the wrong article. Give me 1 second. Yep, here we go. Sorry about that. But your boy's announcing a partnership, Zoe. Say it's going to be a big deal, and the money's going to come down a little bit later. So we're going to talk about this. So this is the SWAC announces partnership announcement. Let me make that nice and big. With Mercurius Media Capital, SWAC announces partnership with Mercurius Media Capital. The Southwestern Athletic Conference has announced that SWAC TV, the official free broadcast platform of the league, has joined MMC as strategic limited partner, becoming the latest media platform to enter MMC Media for Equity Venture Fund. This turns SWAC TV's ad inventory into capital for MMC portfolio companies, helping them scale customer acquisition and brand awareness without drawing down cash reserves or marketing budgets. The partnership gives MMC access to SWAC's million of active alumni, current students, and fan base that consistently fills stadiums. Its audience is 87% African American, 67% college educated, 64% of homeowners. It is also a community that mainstream advertising historically undervalued. Joining MMC gives SWAC TV access to a portfolio of consumer brands looking to build lasting relationships with the audience, while MMC portfolio companies gain a platform with deep roots and genuine credibility. The partnership comes as SWAC TV live sports reach cultural authority with MMC's deal flow and media for equity structure. SWAC TV launched, of course, August 1st, the result of 3-year development by our homeboy. Come on the show, Dr. Charles McClellan. Come on, Sippin On Sundays, McClellan, Dr. McClellan. So again, Zoe, the deal. He said they're looking for media partner to have real trust with the audience. SWAC has built that gravity over the sun. And this is Payush Puri, founder of MMC Capital. By owning their distribution through the SWAC, they have created premium digital-first sandbox for brands. This partnership allows MMC to give our portfolio companies direct, authentic pipeline. And this is our guy. The Southwestern Athletic Conference is extremely excited to partner with MMC as we continue to expand and reach the impact of the SWAC, said the commissioner. This partnership represents a tremendous opportunity to connect innovative brands with one of the most passionate, loyal, and culturally influenced audiences in the college athletic. SWAC TV was created to provide member institutions, student athletes with fans a platform that authentically tells the stories of our conference. By aligning with MMC, we are further positioning SWAC for long-term growth while creating meaningful opportunities that enhance the visibility and value of Southwestern Conference. So, So, I'm going to let you talk first. You saw the deal, but you know what people say, hey, Mr. Campbell, are we going to make any money? That's what everybody said. But you know what, though? I went to school of business industry, so I got to kind of answer. But I'm going to let you talk about this first before I get going. So what you think?
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it sounds good. The only question I have is, is this step getting us closer to a paywall? Getting us closer to, changing advertisers to where we're actually seeing a major uptick in revenue. Because I'm gonna say this, I'm not trying to be opposite guy or anything, but Steve, look, me, you, and everybody else can fix our mouth to say anything. Anybody can get on the computer screen and say we made this or we did this. Yep. But at what point will the dollars be tangible to where we all can see it and not just hear about it, right? And so I think it's a step in the right direction. I'm just waiting to see because, Steve, as we all know, the Swag TV is free. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, look, if you don't have a paywall and or have advertisers, because the advertisers that we have, we see the same commercials being repeated over and over and over again, right? And that's not to sound ungrateful because we got to start somewhere. But at some point, we'll know if it's working, if we're seeing different commercials, if we're seeing more well-known brands step on this sponsors and corporate sponsors to advertise, and want to advertise on Swag TV with the numbers that we have. But also there has to be a paywall at some point in time. And the only thing that concerns me is this is going into year 2 of Swag TV and still no paywall. And as you know, outside of ad revenue, where's the money coming from? Right. And that's going to be the thing. So at what point is Swag TV making money? And again, right now we may not be doing that. Right now we may be doing things to set ourselves up. But I do know at some point in time we're going to have a paywall. And I'll be glad to pay it because, again, that's tangible money that we know we can see. But outside of that, man, like I said, right now, just looking at it, it looks like it's a good move. But right now, I'm still in the wait-and-see approach to everything because I'm trying to see what tangible change we're going to make.
So here's the thing. So, of course, I call a lot of my business people that understand this. I actually understand this because the partnership is actually one of my business. I have something similar contractually. So basically, what this is going to do, this is going to make Swag TV a media platform and an investor in MMC. So MMC has holdings of various companies, right? And these companies are going to advertise onto Swag TV. And what the Swag has now is an equity stake in each one of these companies. So there's two things that's going to happen. Either if these companies exit, Swag gets a potential piece of that exit. So these, IPO, things like that. Or these companies are revenue generating and there's percentages that the company itself. So Campbell and Zoe Phillips, LLC, we're part of the umbrella of MMC. We go and we say we selling widgets. And we know we got the best widgets for Black people. And we're saying, okay, because we're part of this, because they've invested in us, they're going to advertise our merchandise. People buy it, we start getting revenue. The revenue comes back to MMC, which then comes whatever percentage of the Swag. I actually am not mad at this because I think this is forward thinking. And I'm to your point, though, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I think it's forward thinking. Because I think right now, if McClellan and them could get a whole bunch of people that would advertise on Swag TV, probably have it. Probably have a bunch of them. But I think these guys came and said, listen, we've got these companies, and I'm pretty sure McClellan got a doctor, he got some smart people. They evaluated the portfolio and said, okay, we see some diamonds that really can turn revenue. So now the problem is it ain't no money up front. And the question is when does the actual turn from the equity? Because equity don't mean nothing if it doesn't turn into money. Because I can give you, I create a company right now and I give you 50% of it. And you can say, hey, Steve gave me 50% of the company. And if you don't never get no check,
50% of nothing.
It's 50% of nothing. That's the thing that what we got to look at. Now, here's the thing. When you look at it, and the Swag, they're getting access to these consumer brands. Now, I'm curious to know, because I was trying to find out some of the brands, but we'll find out through advertising what some of these brands are. And then they're going to be able to, again, grow Swag TV without, again, spending cash. And then what they're looking for is this long-term value from revenue from these companies that are advertising because they're using this platform. Hey, you know what? So again, I'll make it simple. I go to Swag TV and I say, hey, listen, I can't pay you to advertise on Swag TV, but iWeave wants to advertise because you got all these women that watch Swag TV, and I'm going to give you 15% off sales. That might be a good deal compared to me saying, because let's go to your point, Zoe. How much is an ad for Swag TV? How you 30 seconds? I charge you $20,000. I might be able to turn. I'm telling you, in the hair business, I'm telling you one money. You give me 30,000 customers times 200, you gonna get more than $30,000. I'll tell you that right now. And 30,000 customers is not a lot of people. So this is what's gonna be interesting for me when I saw this, because people want to know, and this is where it's always murky about any deal that we hear. And this is why I think the SWAC always has to do a better job of explaining it to people that are like us.
Yep.
Because what happens, this reminds me of the HBCU Go deal, right? So Dr. McClellan was on the podcast. I was in the chat, and I asked, and the person asked the question respectfully, is the deal $120 million for 10 years? Well, we don't talk about that. So he's been mad at me ever since. But the question was the question. He said, we didn't say that. Well, somebody said it. And we do want to know, because we already knew, because through Scotty, we knew what we were getting from ESPN. So the point was, what are we getting for HBCU Go? Well, guess what? Your boy did find out. And I'm going to tell you, HBCU Go deal, we ain't getting a million in school, but we get some pretty good money. We are getting some really good money. So I will salute them on HBCU Go deal, and shout out to HBCU Go deal, who are being honest brokers and paying us. So now the same thing here. When we hear the equity, and somebody who does investments, owns businesses, has equity in multiple businesses, my only question is what the revenue is going to be and how soon before it turns. Because to your point, Zoe, if they're trying to grow, right, they're sooner or later going to need cash.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that part of this deal is either exit by year 3, 5, or a revenue generator by 3, 5, or immediate.
I just think it does. You're cutting your legs from up under you too if you go into year 3 or year 4 and then you decide to put up a paywall. That's hustling backwards.
So when do you think? So wait a minute. Okay, let me make sure I understand this. When do you think they should put up a paywall? Never or now?
Now, year 2. But I don't think, because think about it, we got something free for you guys. Because now you can look at it and say, well, why did you have it free all this time? We missed out on money.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna play, and you know what? We know the SWAC watches, because trust me, they've dropped in on this show indirectly. So don't act like y'all ain't watching. So I'm gonna keep it business, which y'all call me because I know the business. So you want to challenge me, feel free to come on, because I know what I'm talking about, what I'm about to say here. So Zoe, you're playing that, so I like that. So I'm gonna play the SWAC side. Well, Zoe, here's the thing. Our whole purpose is we want to get as many people to watch our football games, because that's part of our strategy to help these companies sell their product. So no, I don't want to have a paywall that all of a sudden, again, somebody go Google that number that McClellan said how many people were watching, because I don't have time, because I got to get Zoe up out of here real quick. So how about this? So Zoe, I'm not going to charge $5.99 and only 20,000 y'all sign up, right? You know, or $10 and 20. What is that? $200,000? 20,000 people.
Hold on. I beg to differ. I think it's safe to say we probably can get about. I'm gonna lowball this. I think we can get 1,500 people from each school to sign up. I really do.
1,500 people. That's Zoe. That's only.
But hold on. If we go 1,500 people for every school, it's 12 schools in the SWAC. I said I'm lowballing this. All right, that's 18,000 subscribers. Remember now, this is monthly.
Yeah.
If you multiply that times $9.99, it's $180,000 a month. That's lowballing it. See, I think different. But watch this. I feel like we can get 2,500 people from each school. I do. That's 30,000. That's 30,000. That's 30,000 subscribers. Times $9.99. That's $300,000 a month. Now I don't know about you, but if we go at $300,000 a month, and we go from now to just say to the end of basketball, everybody, that's 2.1 million.
Okay, so now if I'm Charles McClellan, he say, listen, one of their, again, I'm just making up, one of their companies is an Uber type company that we got equity in. We got 3%. They gonna IPO. I'm gonna get 50 million just from that. I'm gonna get 20 million from the other company. Now I'm saying that's gonna be the argument he's gonna have to make. And so that's why I think the evaluation, and I'm not saying this right or wrong. So what we're doing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. You having that paywall, it has nothing to do with what you got on the IPO.
Wait a minute. But wait a minute. Now hold on. I'm gonna go to the other side. I'm not saying you don't have a paywall. I'm saying what he's trying to accomplish, right? I don't want to have a paywall now. I'm gonna build this up, and then paywall will be for us for year 5, because now I've got 2 streams of revenue. I've got this equity revenue coming in, be it from payments, from revenues that the companies are generating, or from exits. And now I can also, because 2, maybe he's saying I don't want to do a paywall yet because all 12 of my schools are not paywall ready. And I don't want people to saying, well, I watched Valley and the Valley game ain't no good, but I watched FAMU and Jackson State and Southern and the quality is. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think before you do a paywall, you have to have a level set of all 12 schools. Would you not agree on that?
That kind of go without saying, but why not have that from the jump when this was 3 years in the making?
But see, this is what, okay, so, man, McClellan, I got your back on this. Well, here's the whole thing. I think when they first started it, it was about proof of concept. And you know, and so you technical, but you're going to know this, minimum viable product.
Yep.
And I think that's what they did. They said, let's just see if the concept even works. Let me tell you something. If I'm McClellan, I'm not going to sit back and let's just say each school setup is $40,000, right? Just for whatever cameras and all that, the high end stuff, because you know that stuff gets expensive.
Yeah.
And he does that, and nobody watches Swag TV. Then he, like, to your point, we ought to $500,000.
Hey Steve, no risk it, no biscuit.
Well, I'm telling you.
I get that, but
I think this commissioner has never been a risky. I think he's always, and I'm not saying this right or wrong, but I'm just saying the way he moves, and this is why I'm arguing his point, and I can see it, is that, okay, I want to make sure that there's a level set for Swag TV before I start charging. Because one thing, I'm going to use Scotty. If they start charging, and if Scotty came back to life, what are we doing here? I'm paying $9.99. I can't even hear. What are we doing? And he's getting killed. And you know he would get killed. So he's saying, no. You can't complain when it's free. Let me fix it. Because I know one of the things I know, because case in point, the fact that Valley, because remember, Valley was not on Swag TV because they couldn't get it up. They were on YouTube. Valley got all their games on Swag TV. So that's what we got. So we're going to see this thing. So let me get you out, because I know you got to go. I want to really get to this because I think this is important, because this is going to tie into what we got going on next week. So we had the Black College Hall of Fame. And guess what? Somebody that we know is now a new member of the Black College Hall of Fame. And I'm super excited because we're going to have an announcement soon. I pull this up about these people. Okay, hold on one second. Black College Hall of Fame is on here in Atlanta. I should have totally forgot about it. But you know what, though? Super excited and want to talk about who made it. So shout out to Light on Sports who gave me this. So here we go. Black College Football Hall of Fame is trying 6 new members. Jimmy Smith, Jackson State, North Jackson stand up. Eddie Robinson Jr., my 1988 freshman brother, Alabama State. Nick Collins, Bethune-Cookman. Nick played, I believe, at the Green Bay Packers. Tyrone Poole, Fort Valley State. Didn't Tyrone play for the Carolina Panthers? I believe first-round pick. Rudy Hubbard.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm pretty sure, Tyrone. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Rudy Hubbard, the first coach and the only coach from HBCU to win an NCAA national championship. And Steve Weiss from Howard, who is a contributor who does it. So, Zoe, 6 new members. And we're going to talk about this, Zoe, because I need to know why Rudy Hubbard is not on the Mount Rushmore of great coaches, because he's only accomplished the only thing nobody other coaches ever even got close to, and that's win a national championship. But Zoe, I'm going to tell you a secret, though. You know, we know folks, and this is Sippin' on Sundays. I talked to a Hall of Famer on this list. And next Sunday, and I'm going to let y'all figure out who it is. Next Sunday, he's going to be on the show, Zoe. Next Sunday, we're going to have a Black College Football Hall of Famer, and he's going to be sipping on Sundays next Sunday, Zoe. I'm just going to tell you, as me and Zoe, I know I've been knowing him since I was in the third, fourth grade. Though you saw him play. I ain't gonna say no name, but I'm just telling you that's my boy. And he said,
Yeah,
Campbell, I gotta come on with you.
I ain't just see him play. I saw him play at Callaway. So, I mean,
so yeah, man. So listen,
I kind of gave it away.
Yeah, Big Show. Hey man, so Big Show, man, definitely be back here. So Zoe, listen, I got to get you up out of here. I'm 7 minutes. I know we had to get you out of here. But hey, one thing about it. Hey, let me pull this up. This Tuesday night on the Rocky Miller channel, HBCU Coaches Corner. Hey man, we're about to bring up an Olympic champion. Hey, a Hall of Famer herself. So let me just pull this up because I want y'all to see this because I'm super excited about this. Because so a lot of times we do not talk about the great HBCU women that have come through. So Zoe, this Tuesday, I'm proud to say, and let me share that screen. This Tuesday, we got Coach Chandra Cheeseburger Geis, Olympic and silver medalist from the 1984 Olympics, Tennessee State coach. Hey, man, she is part of that Tiger Bell legacy, and she's going to be on with us this Tuesday on HBCU Coaches Corner, man. And when you're talking about, hey, man, you're talking about one of the greats. You're talking about the Jackie Jordan Kersey's, the Flojos, the Elder Ashfords, and all these different people. She was right there during that era. These were the women that really started that, not counting women Rudolph, of course. But I'm talking about that new era where you look good and you feel good and you ran and you won Olympic champion. So, man, we are super excited that we're going to have Coach Cheeseburger Geis on this Tuesday and everything. So, listen, Zoe, I know I got to get you out of here. And we'll talk about a couple of other things that make or break. We'll do that next week and stuff like that when we have a certain guest on. But, Zoe, what you got before we get up out of here?
Man, listen, it's June. Football magazines are out, and Swipe Media Day is right around the corner, man. So everybody got to do their due diligence, man. Enjoy the summer. We got, 3 more weeks left in June. It's going to be July. And, hey, first games in August, man. And Lord knows I'm ready for August to get here. I got some things to do. But, man, just looking forward to this upcoming season, man. But everybody, man, take care of yourself, man. Hydrate. Man, take your vitamins, man. Do what you can. Take care of yourself, man, because people are dropping out of here left and right. Black people, go see the doctor. Take care of yourself.
Hey, man, listen, you know it. Duval in the house. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. We're going to have Duval in the house. Hey, man, listen, man, I want to just tell all of you all, man, because real quick before I let Zoe. So I was down in New Orleans, and I'm walking down Bourbon Street, and all I hear is somebody, Mr. Campbell, what you sipping on? I said, hold on, wait a minute. What are we doing? Shout out to my man. He said, man, I watch you with Zoe, man. I go to Southern, Mr. Campbell. Man, you tell Zoe that we gonna beat Jack State. I said, man, go. So I can remember a little young brother's name, but he said, Mr. Campbell, what you sipping on, man? I had to turn around. So it made me feel good. So, man, appreciate y'all watching the show, man. Please
y'all tuning in, man.
And subscribe, man. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna be back next Sunday. And you know where you always ask that one question: what y'all sipping on? Y'all have a good night.